Hello, it is a dark episode for April the 1st, 2022. I'm not going to try and do a lame April Fool's joke. I think the only April Fool's joke I saw today was I clicked on a review for a new Amazon Kindle 2022, and it was like, oh, it's a Kindle with like a keyboard and stuff like that. And the guy immediately said, well, actually, this is an April Fool's joke because actually it's a retro review of the very first Kindle, and it was kind of funny, like some of the features on that old Kindle, like having a dedicated little buttons to advance the pages would be kind of nice on a new Kindle now versus the touch screen. It'd much be easier if I could have a convenient place you could rest on the edge to just sort of tap it. That would be kind of cool now. So, but there were other things about the original Kindle which were didn't connect to Wi-Fi. It was only like a 3G thing. The battery was only last you a week, and would only last you a week as long as you weren't actually hooked up to a network. If you were hooked up to the network, it would it would putz out after like a day or two, which is like, oh, that sounds that's that sounds inconvenient. It had a little SD card. You could swap up the batteries, which I guess would be necessitated by the fact that you were having to charge it all the time. So yeah, that's the only. I think that is the only April Fool's joke. Maybe I just didn't see enough. I think at this point with fake news and everything else, I mean, every day is April Fool's. You always have to look at any any news story and go, okay, are they bullshitting me? Because they could very easily be bullshitting me, and not for a joke, but for, you know, political political motivation. The Russians are waging their have been doing a giant April Fool's joke all this time about the Ukraine, all controlled by Nazis, apparently, according to the Russian pop propaganda. So one big April Fool's joke, that and everything else that's goddamn gone on in this world. I mean, you would hope that there was more media literacy now than ever before, just because of how people have gotten so have gotten all the information that's been taken in that just hasn't been verified. Half of it is junk, for it seems like, for a lot of people. Like they just are believing what they want to believe, what feels right, versus trying to take a little bit of independent verification on stuff. And that is not to say that I don't have crud in my own beliefs, in my own things that I think are true that actually aren't true. I'm sure there is tons of stuff like that that I need to take in. I mean, that's something to think about just for April the 1st, is just, you know, how much do you actually know? And, what steps can you take to try and verify things? And I don't mean like doing your own research in the way of kind of going down some kind of weird conspiracy thing yourself. It's just kind of hopefully demystifying the world, both demystifying the world and also realizing that the world is a lot more complicated. I think sometimes people glom on to very outrage stories because they get told a very simple story and that makes it outrage. Whereas when you look into it, you think, oh, it's actually a lot more complicated than that. And hopefully the complication will activate your sympathy on a lot of sides for a lot of stuff, and also expose things are really complicated, but there's definitely people whose interest is in simplifying it to just one side, to just one view, and like, why are they doing that? It's like questioning people's motivations as well. And understand that you have your own motivations and your own stories that you want to tell. You want to tell yourself. I was ranting about how Canada likes to tell itself a story about we're nice people, and you know that's not a bad thing to be a nice person, but to tell yourself you're a nice person, we're a nice country when we're not, when we do a lot of shitty stuff, is to allow us to continue doing a lot of shitty stuff. Which I guess is a way of saying Happy April Fools. All right, I will leave it there. I've been Jay. More videos later.